This is the internet. I've accepted that nothing is sacred and that everything is going to be debated. I'm certainly not the joke police, but Candace Owens, who has marketed herself as Charlie Kirk's best friend, has done nothing but grifted his murder. Within 24 hours after he passed away, she posted, "To my friend Charlie Kirk," and she'd end the video saying she feels hurt.
A lot of pain right now, and I love you, Charlie, and I'll see you when I'll see you. I love you very much.
This went on to be our most popular live stream ever. This would lead to the next 3 months being full of non-stop live streams coming up with baseless conspiracy theories about who killed Charlie. First, it was that people at Charlie Kirk's own company, Turning Point, betrayed him.
Like I alluded to last week, and which I will double down on now, I believe that people within that company betrayed Charlie.
Now, what's her evidence of this? Well, it's that she saw it in a dream. I'm serious. It's that stupid.
I similarly, like I just said, had a vivid dream this weekend, and Charlie came to me and he told me that he was betrayed. And so for me, you don't have to believe that, but I do believe that. It was the immediate sense I got, actually. And I don't know who exactly it is that betrayed him, but I also felt in the dream that it is soon going to be revealed, that it's actually inevitable that it is going to be revealed, that there is nothing and no one that is going to stop the truth from coming out, and it is going to have international consequences. Take that to the bank. Quote me on that.
Yeah, we're still waiting on that. This is all based off of her womanly intuition.
Women tend to have a stronger intuition about people, I would say.
Then suddenly everyone is involved. The US federal government is covering it up.
If you were going to bring me to the argument that this truly was a miracle, it probably would not be in the midst of a circumstance where the feds are lying. Right? That is like not now, right?
Israel is involved because Ben Shapiro said Candace should be condemned. Ben only cares about Israel's interests, so Israel is involved. Then it's France.
I can tell you the feds are not doing that, because I was the one who said I had the information about the French Foreign Legion being on the ground the day that Charlie was assassinated, and the feds have not reached out to me.
It's because you're crazy. She blames France partially because she thinks the first lady has a penis.
And I think
Brigitte Macron has a penis. I really want you to know that.
Brigitte Macron does not have a penis.
Brigitte Macron has a penis.
No, she doesn't.
She thinks she's the main character. She's like, I found Egyptian planes. Isn't it suspicious the government isn't reaching out to me about this?
As soon as some podcaster was like, hey, I found Egyptian planes and they're being kind of shady, I would be like, whoa, that is weird. What's up with these Egyptian planes?
It's like, wow, everybody killed Charlie besides Tyler Robinson.
Like, even if you are somebody who is on the side of those who do believe that Tyler Robinson pulled the trigger one way or another, would you ever describe what happened as quote unquote very clear?
Yes.
I'm guessing your answer to that would be no.
Because you've eaten all the glue. She has zero evidence of there being a second shooter, but she believes that over the official story. How? I don't know. Maybe she dreamt that up too. Remember, Candace claims to be Charlie's closest friend. They're basically siblings.
Our relationship was real. We were brother and sister. We were fortified. Our relationship was forged in fire, the fire of politics. I knew him. I knew Charlie, the real Charlie.
But since she's used his death to tear down Charlie's political party, his company, his friends.
Do you believe Mikey McCoy had any prior knowledge of Charlie's murder?
Mikey's behavior is weird on that day.
And now his widowed wife.
None of us are involved in my husband's murder. Turning Point USA, myself.
That doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me, and it shouldn't work for you.
She implies that she was worried about getting poisoned in her meeting with Erika Kirk.
I did not know if they were going to be open. I didn't know what Erika's energy was going to be like, if it was going to be more of an argument, if there was going to be legal threats. You guys were telling me not to drink water, so I didn't drink water. Well, I brought my own water, but I didn't drink that water too.
She has ridden this conspiracy to being the #1 podcaster some weeks above Joe Rogan. She streams to over 300,000 people some days. Hassan is the second biggest political streamer, streaming to about 20,000 people, peaking at 45K last month. She is 10xing the next streamer in her genre, but it's because her streams are so exciting. She's talking about how France is trying to kill her. The f***ing government of France.
It feels especially urgent, right? Don't you feel a sense of urgency right now? in the wake of me having learned that France apparently paid for my assassination.
She never elaborates on this, by the way. Also, why are you smiling? Aren't you about to be murdered? Candace's security is my top priority. That's why she needs to protect herself from data brokers and hackers by using Aura. Here's a redacted report of all the information that's likely out there on you right now on data broker sites. Birthdays, addresses, full names, phone numbers, emails, relatives, neighbors, photos, social media accounts, potentially your job. Don't be a sitting duck like me and my family were. Download Aura, the sponsor of today's video. I pay for this service out of my own pocket because it stops these scumbag data brokers from making billions by selling people's personal data. Aura is a service that takes care of the hard part. It constantly searches for your data and automatically submits takedown requests to these sites. There's a lot of companies that offer similar services, but Aura has the most features at the best price. It's your own personal internet bodyguard. If your information is leaked to the dark web, Aura alerts you. If there's fraud attempts on your bank account, Aura alerts you. Not to mention it's a VPN antivirus password manager. Hell, it even reduces the amount of spam calls and spam emails you'll receive. Yes, these spammers use data brokers to get your phone number. And if anything happens, Aura includes $5 million in identity theft insurance. They have thought of everything. I cannot recommend Aura enough. If I used it from day one, it would have saved me a lot of trouble. So go to aura.com/WillyMac and use code WillyMac to start your 14-day free trial. That's enough time for Aura to start scrubbing your personal information off of these sites. Thank you, Aura, for sponsoring this video. I want to start off by saying Candace is either manic or completely evil because her conspiracy theories have zero logic, zero consistency.
How would the current court case and the jury pool be impacted if you answered about why these Egyptian planes, why it's a statistical anomaly for these Egyptian planes to be surrounding Turning Point USA, Faith events, you and Charlie this many times? How would that impact? And again, I'm a gut player. It's common sense. So forgive me for not being elite enough and educated enough and expert enough to understand how it would impact things. Explain it to me like I'm not a legal expert, you know? Like I don't trust legal experts. I think they're all full of shit.
How is anything she said there common sense? It's literally the opposite of common sense. She's explaining an international operation to kill a YouTuber. She's always going on about these Egyptian planes, but she never posts evidence of anything.
Actually, frankly, just pissing me off. So I became locked in on these Egyptian planes because that's how I am, okay? You keep pushing me and keep pushing me, I will become an expert on these planes. I'll learn how to build an Egyptian plane. And the reality is, like I said, tomorrow I will show you how these planes tie back to Israel.
She never got around to this. I know, hard to imagine. It's gotten to the point where even Alex Jones is calling her a baseless conspiracy theorist.
Dealing with Candace Owens, just as soon as the whole Egyptian plane thing gets debunked with all the facts, now she's moved to something else, and I'm really worried about her. I'm worried about her and her mind, but her latest source and what she's done, implicating the U.S. military and all this other stuff, is just so damaging. And when you go investigate it, it's so crazy. And just like with the Egyptian plane, she says she has the metadata, then publish it. And when she did publish it, and it got fact-checked, it wasn't accurate.
The closest thing I could find to her proof about these Egyptian planes is when she posted the flight logs in a tweet saying Tyler Robinson must have some powerful friends, implying that the people on this plane collaborated with Tyler Robinson to do it, but her only proof is that a plane flew out of an airport that day. At this point, why stop at blaming just that plane? Blame every plane to take off from the airport that day. We have reached peak schizophrenia. She also claims that this plane's first visit to America was on July 20th, and it was at an army base in Nebraska. But if you look at the very flight logs she posted on her tweet, it shows that the plane stopped at OMA and LMK airport. These are the public airports of Omaha, Nebraska and Lincoln, Nebraska. Candace, where's the military base? This is what I mean by she just says stuff. When people pointed out that she's wrong, she doesn't acknowledge it. She just says it's the Zionists coming after her.
And I'm like, this is happening. It's like a psychological operation because it's completely crazy. And when you see a media storm like this, it can only be happening because Zionists are locking arms and going attack, because they by and large control the media. They just do. Okay, one way or the other, Zionists control the empire medias, and they are scared about something in this investigation. We've noticed that from the very beginning.
It's amazing that we live in a world where if you're caught blatantly lying like Candace was, you could just blame Zionist and half the internet will forgive you. Works for Hassan, why not Candace? My point is, if your common sense can only be explained by elaborate media and global cabals operating behind the scenes, it's no longer common sense, but it gets worse. The interview took place 2 months after Charlie's death, and by that time, Candace was already framing herself is more trustworthy than experts.
Why it's a statistical anomaly for these Egyptian planes to be surrounding Turning Point USA, Faith events, you and Charlie this many times. How would that impact? And again, I'm a gut player. It's common sense. So forgive me for not being elite enough and educated enough and expert enough to understand how it would impact things. Explain it to me like I'm not a legal expert, you know? Like I don't trust legal experts. I think they're all full of shit.
But when Ellie asks questions based off basic information, it becomes blatantly clear that Candace doesn't know anything. Ellie asks why Candace thinks Tyler's text messages are fake, and Candace cites Discord for some reason.
Do you have any proof that the messages were made up? Because that would be easily proven.
Yeah, but they didn't put timestamps on them, and Discord came out and said they didn't exist.
This was supposedly text messages, not Discord messages. It's my understanding from the indictment.
I actually did not read that they were text messages.
Which means she didn't even bother to read the indictment, which says text messages. Now, there is also Discord messages between Tyler and his friends, but Candace claims that Discord says they're fake.
Have messages, it's all over. We found it on Discord. Discord is going to say that's not true. So who made up these messages?
I have no idea where Candace is getting that they're fake from. Discord literally provided the messages. I'm sorry for all of this. Read a message from the suspect's account. Discord provided a copy of the message with the confession to authorities. And then when I am able to track down Candace's sources, the logic is so flimsy.
When you say you believe that Charlie Kirk was betrayed by someone close to him, what do you mean?
I think that in the coming weeks, there's going to be a lot of financial reports that are coming out. And I, first and foremost, do not believe that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk. I want to be very clear on that. Whether he was involved, I think the answer is yes. I think that's obvious.
And your basis for saying he didn't act alone is what?
I don't know, maybe the weird Fed messages that were concocted out of thin air that had no timestamp and were written like they were speaking in 1822.
What Candace is referring to is that Tyler Robinson said vehicle instead of car in the text messages.
Second term that I want you to look for in your phone is vehicle. Vehicle. I mean, what pops up for you? Is that something that you say? I'm just going to go outside to my vehicle. I left something in my vehicle. I'll be right back. I parked my vehicle outside. I don't remember where I parked my vehicle. I love vehicles, love fast vehicles. I'm a big vehicle person, said nobody ever. The text messages that were released yesterday in the indictment of Tyler Robinson make perfect sense if you don't think about them at all. Like literally, if you suspend all reason, all rationality, then they can make perfect sense. That's the only way. You just have to stop thinking.
This is it. This is her proof that the text messages are fake and that the feds are involved in covering up Charlie's murder. But what's funny is Candace says the word vehicle all the time.
President gets shot in a moving vehicle in Dallas. I almost made him pull over the vehicle. Hollywood is the vehicle. Yeah, he just gets out of his vehicle. Who owned a white vehicle that was parked in the neighborhood, which was nearby where the shooter had walked? Nick lives nearby. And everyone locally had looked at this vehicle and said that it was remarkably suspicious. And Phil had come back to him and said, I can help you to just figure out more about this vehicle that was parked.
She can't be this stupid, dude. The proof of her being malicious comes from her showing footage from 2022 of Tyler Robinson talking to the police after a car accident.
During the discussion with the officer that showed up, Tyler certainly refers to it as his car, not his vehicle, because that's how most Americans, how most English speakers refer to a car.
Mom's on her way? Yeah, she's gonna be a minute. She's gotta shuttle over from where she's at to her car and then drive over. Gotcha.
His mother was gonna shuttle over from her car? Interesting.
No, it's not. I looked up the exact same video that Candace showed, and if you watch the whole thing, Tyler says the word vehicle just a couple of minutes later.
As I get into the intersection, he bolts. There was a vehicle in the lane.
Wow, it's as if people have vocabularies and use different words sometimes. Candace showed this exact same video and then purposely cut it off for her audience right before her point was about to be debunked. This isn't an accident. She's being malicious. It's not a coincidence that all of her sources are unnamed and anonymous and that no other outlet is receiving anything. It gives her the freedom to just make stuff up.
Feds are like on a computer, like typing it out back and forth.
That's exactly what it is. The feds made up the text messages.
But you don't have anyone from like the FBI telling you that, or law
I have
enforcement?
leaks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has anyone leaked to you
And
that?
Tyler Robinson
But has anyone said to you, even off the record, like, yeah, we faked these?
I have very strong sources everywhere on both sides, from Lance to Robinson's family to federal government, and I am making the statement that those text messages were made up. and that they did not come from Tyler Robinson.
But she won't show any of this evidence because it doesn't exist. She's not doing an investigation, she's writing fan fiction. Meanwhile, she doesn't even know what town Charlie was shot in.
I don't know what he means. Where is he stuck here, guys? Do you have a clue here? I'm stuck in a REM for a little while longer. It shouldn't be long until I can come home. Is it a typo? I should have asked you guys. Okay, that's the town. Okay.
How do you not know the town? This is the #1 political streamer right now. She's worse than Hassan. Hassan at least cites where he gets his fake news from. Candace, meanwhile, will just start claiming that the real shooter popped out of a hole in the ground. This episode has 3.5 million views, and in it, Candace claims the federal government forgot something important.
I'm just implying that there's an entire underground there. And I remember when I looked at the footage, I felt like it was coming up. I don't know anything about ballistics. I'm not an expert. But if there was a hatch door nearby, then we can assume, as we should always assume with colleges, obviously stadiums, there's always an underground path. So I'm wondering if the federal government has explored the possibility that somebody could have been under Charlie and done that. While everyone's looking around and thinking that a shot went off from here, if that was just maybe like decoy number 2, and actually Charlie was shot from beneath him, which then could maybe explain why there was no exit wound. Again, I'm theorizing because I have a right to. I have a right to think.
Feel free to stop because you're bad at it. She says she needs precise footage of Tyler Robinson pulling the trigger to believe that it's him, but apparently she needs no footage. I believe someone popped out of the ground like a mole and shot Charlie. They paved the area where Charlie was shot, and Candace thinks they're hiding tunnels.
I think that would probably be an interesting one for the feds to explore, because within 48 hours, I mean, was it 48 hours, Skylar? They decided to instead pave that area, repave it. Do we have footage of that? They paved it. And I feel like that was a little soon. So I don't know if things can be unpaid. I'm sure they can, but maybe exploring a tunnel network would be a good start.
Candace, you're literally a millionaire. Go to the school yourself and investigate the tunnels. Now let's dive farther into Candace's sources. Most of the time, when people ask Candace for a source, she just defers to her gut instinct, her common sense, but I don't think she knows what that phrase means. Tyler is on videotape, she calls it fake based on nothing, and her audience will just believe her.
What are we to discern from all of this? I'll tell you my take on this. I think the person in the maroon that's walking is different from the person that's walking up the stairs. It's a gut thing, okay? I don't know, but I know. Okay, I don't know, but I know. I would discern that we are looking, just vibe again, 2 different people would be my thing. 2 different people. One of those people is definitely being protected.
Her investigation is based off vibes. Well, vibes don't get convictions, Candace. At one point, she says she'll only stop with the conspiracies if Erika Kirk tells her to.
Okay, so I want to be very clear here. No one, and I mean absolutely no one, outside of my husband and Erika Kirk has the power to shut me up right now.
So then Erika asked for the conspiracy theorists to stop.
But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirks Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode because somehow they're in on this, no. And so my message to them is to stop.
Candace then does a stream titled Erika Tells Me to Stop. She watches Erika saying she's not involved in killing her husband.
None of us are involved in my husband's murder. None of us. Turning Point USA, myself.
Candace then says she can't ignore her own common sense, implying that Erika is playing a role in covering up Charlie's murder.
The problem is that you have people on social media who are talking common sense and they don't understand this. Okay, that's like, that doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me and it shouldn't work for you.
But when people bring it up, she backpedals too. Well, I never explicitly said that.
So I just want to say to, first and foremost, Glenn setting that question up, I can't find, to this day, because this just feels to me to be like the ultimate straw man, any commentator that has explicitly accused Erika of killing Charlie Kirk.
At times, I feel like I'm watching a gender-swapped Eric Carmen.
I looked through your stupid book. It's 540 pages of ripping on Wendy and calling her a slut. I do not directly say she's a slut. Wendy Testerberger has proven time and time again that she will do anything to pleasure her vagina. Whether it is the school football team or the janitors on their break, Wendy spends her time as president on her knees or on her back taking the old in-out for hours on end. You didn't read the rest, dude. Or does she? See, that's a question. I'm asking questions then.
I want to touch on Candace claiming France is going to kill her. She tweeted, I informed the people in the federal government and the White House of the France and Israeli assassination plot, and I'm willing to provide full details, as well as the name of the assassins and international accounts in France and Canada, through which money was exchanged.
Feels especially urgent, right? Don't you feel a sense of urgency right now in the wake of me having learned that France apparently paid for my assassination and that the French Foreign Legion was apparently involved and on the ground at UVU on the day of Charlie Kirk's assassination? And we should probably begin there.
Candace, if you have proof, why not just post the names yourself? I don't know why she's doing this. I think it's because the president of France is suing her because she won't stop saying his wife has a dick.
I remember that one of your courageous moves was to repeatedly tell the world that Brigitte Macron is a man. As you now know,
And she is.
As you now know, we had a $300,000 bet to charity about this because she's a woman.
Yes.
Is my view.
She's not a woman.
Well, we're going to find out is the point, because it's going to court. They're suing you. And when she proves, as she will, that she's a woman, because it's very easy to prove, and you lose that case, then
So
they
easy that she refuses to do it for years.
Yeah, why doesn't the First Lady of France just post her coocher on Twitter? Candace Owens, the podcaster, is demanding it. It may sound like I'm being facetious when I say that, but it's actually what Candace wants.
Brigitte,
we're
nobody
gonna
asked
find
you for a
out,
blood
aren't we?
test. We asked you for some photos and you refused
We're
to
gonna
do
find
it.
out,
And
Candace.
everybody knows
Candace,
that
we're
Charlie
gonna find
Kirk
out.
was not shot by Tyler Robinson on a rooftop.
And I think you
Brigitte
did that.
Macron has a penis. I really want
Brigitte
you to know
Macron
that.
does
Here, I think
not
it's
have a
important.
penis.
Brigitte Macron has a
No,
penis.
she doesn't.
I'm sorry.
She had three children.
Did she get it removed?
She had 3
Did he get
children.
It removed? Yeah, you can have adoptive children. You can call somebody, but Brigitte Macron was born a dude named Jean-Michel Trogneau.
Well-
And I just feel, I want you to know that. I want you to know that Brigitte Macron probably stands peeing up.
Now, this is going to court and Candace will be proven wrong, but she's smart. She's already setting up the narrative that the only way she can lose is if federal corruption is at play.
No,
Let's
this entire
wait
thing
for the
has
court
happened.
case. Let's wait for the court
Okay,
case.
great.
Now, look,
and you will be proven wrong again
in
unless
the
there's just
fallout-
federal corruption.
Okay.
This is what conspiracy theorists do. Whenever they're proven wrong, they always shift the goalpost. It's a forever moving target. There's always another explanation.
I am sorry that in this day and age, there seems to be such a shortage of testosterone that a woman has to be the person that states the obvious, right?
Her idea of obvious is the opposite of obvious. Listen to how elaborate this is.
If you were one of the people online who believed for a single second that it was even a remote possibility that I simply made up a French assassination attempt heading into Thanksgiving week, I don't know, for like attention or something, I sat around and I said, I'm just not getting enough attention. How can I start a global conversation about me? And then I came up with this idea of creating fan fiction where I imagined myself as the victim of a multinational state plot to murder me. Yeah, if you thought that for a single second, that it was for funsies because I'm not busy or anything, then you're just not sober. You're not paying attention to anything.
You're not sober. The proof that she shows that she's gonna get killed is her own tweet. That's it.
I obviously tweeted exactly what I was informed. Okay, I'm going to read that tweet to you in its entirety. Urgent. 2 days ago, I was contacted by a high-ranking employee of the French government. The person claims the Macrons have executed upon and paid for my assassination. Yes, you read that correctly. More specifically, that the green light was given to a small team in the National Gendarmerie Intervention Group. I am told there is one Israeli that is on the assassination squad and that plans were formalized.
Candace is once again claiming she has evidence while never showing anything. This video could go on for another hour. She never stops. Candace tweeted, they have been signaling that a 9/11 style attack is coming the second week of December. Save this tweet. It will age well. Nothing happened and she never commented on this again. But she did have a conversation with Piers Morgan and it 9/11'd my brain. Candace says that she's not seen one piece of evidence that Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk.
I haven't seen one piece of compelling evidence that Tyler Robinson scaled the rooftops like Spider-Man on a college campus that he didn't go to and fired one shot, a magic bullet shot, and killed Charlie Kirk. I have not seen one piece of compelling evidence. In fact, I've seen more compelling evidence to the contrary.
No, you haven't. She has no evidence showing the contrary. However, the evidence that Tyler did shoot Charlie is Tyler walking up the stairs to the roof, him running and jumping off the roof, holding the gun, him running out of the woods where the gun was later found, him limping because he hurt his leg when he jumped off the roof, and him admitting to doing it to multiple people. None of that is evidence to you, but random planes, random holes in the ground, any random person that emails you, that's evidence. Okay, dude. Candace keeps saying that people at Turning Point are complicit in killing Charlie, so Piers presses her on it.
That to me, even that seems like a part of telling people not to believe their own gut. Obviously, for this to have been pulled off, there had to have been multiple people involved. There had to have been people at Turning Point that were complicit in having this happen. Now, who knows what their motivations are? Doesn't mean maybe this person's like, hey, I'm going to help you.
Hang on. Okay, let me stop you. Hang on. When you say obviously somebody at Turning Point, you are accusing right now people that worked with Charlie Kirk at the company he built, which is now run by his widow. You are directly accusing people in that company of being complicit in his murder, right?
I want to just be very clear connecting that dot.
She's not clear at all. She just rambles about JFK before claiming that Charlie was killed over money.
Common sense inquiry is, was there a financial motive for this person to be dead, okay? This is like Sherlock Holmes 101.
What was the financial incentive to kill this YouTuber? Like, for who? I can only think of Erika because she's now running the company. But Candace never explains. She just says it's common sense and declares victory.
This is what I mean when I say that the public no longer trusts the media because you're acting us to be stupid. And we don't want to do that. We actually don't want to pretend that we're clinical idiots.
Candace, I'm realizing you're not pretending. Candace never answers Piers' question, so he asks again, who at Turning Point is complicit in killing Charlie?
I want to get to the reality of what you're actually saying. So when you say that somebody at Turning Point USA, Charlie's company, was complicit in his murder, who? Who was?
I believe that there were multiple people at Turning Point who are, as I have said many times, my exact words are, they are engaged in a cover-up of what happened to Charlie on that day.
No, but who was involved in his murder?
I didn't say that they murdered Charlie.
You said that people at Turning Point were complicit in his murder.
No.
You literally just said they were complicit.
Obviously, for this to have been pulled off, there had to have been multiple people involved. There had to have been people at Turning Point that were complicit in having this happen.
Piers presses her on this. She denies reality. She's got the memory of a goldfish, apparently.
No, my exact sentence that I said was that there were people at Turning Point who are engaged in a cover-up.
No, you didn't.
I believe that thoroughly.
Candace, you didn't say that.
She then says something even crazier.
Did anybody at Turning Point, in your opinion, know that Charlie Kirk was going to be murdered?
There is specifically 2 people at Turning Point USA, and I have communicated that information to Erika and Justin Strife, that I would not be surprised if they had foreknowledge of Charlie Kirk being assassinated.
But do you have any evidence
I'm not going to name... I am not going to name those people, okay, because it's not right for me to name those people until I know for a fact that they did.
But she has actually named the Turning Point USA employee before, so Piers asks her about him, and she doubles down.
Do you believe Mikey McCoy had any prior knowledge of Charlie's murder?
I can't say that he had prior knowledge of the murder unless I have something concrete. I can't say anything about prior knowledge. What I can say is what happened on that day. Mikey's behavior is weird on that day. I find it weird, like I said on the podcast yesterday, that what has been communicated to the public is like he called Erika instantly. First thing he did was call Erika instantly. And that's actually the call logs show that he didn't call Erika instantly.
So this guy Mikey is getting roped into killing Charlie because he said that he instantly called Erika after Charlie was shot. Candace constantly calls Mikey a liar for this.
I do believe that Mikey McCoy should have to answer for who he had on the phone right when the shot went off. So yeah. His father, his own father. That surprised me the most about these call logs is I certainly feel that we were given the impression over and over and over again that the first person Mikey called was Erika, right? He called Erika. We were told this by many people also that he trained, like he almost like went to a camp and trained, and Charlie was like 1, 2, 3, go, and like fast 1, 2, 3, go. That's why he walked away. 1, 2, 3, go, and just told him this is what the first thing you do is. Well, he didn't do that.
Yeah, you want to know what Mikey actually did first? He called his wife, and then he called Erika 3 minutes later. Wow, what an evil liar.
Well, he didn't do that. Actually, the first person he called was his wife. He called Elizabeth McCoy. And then he stayed on the phone with his wife for 10 minutes. And during those 10 minutes, he 3-wayed Erika 3 minutes after the shot went off. And then he three-ways his father.
Accusing him of killing his friend and boss because he said the word instantly when in reality it was 3 minutes later. Between the word instantly and the word vehicle, Candace has become the dictionary police.
What are you suggesting
He called
about
his
this
wife
guy?
instantly, and then he had 3 ways.
As you know, when you got a
and
massive
then
platform,
and then showing
Candace,
his call log
here's the
showed that
problem.
Blake Neff actually
You have
didn't
a
tell the truth
massive-
about what happened on that day.
But here's the problem, Candace. You have a massive platform, as you know. Millions and millions of people hang on your every word. When you devote a large part of an entire episode to the strange behavior of Charlie Kirk's chief of staff, you are putting a target on the guy's back. You're inferring he has something to do with this, or something to do with some cover-up, or whatever it is you're inferring. You know what you're doing when you do that.
I am not going to be emotionally conditioned to believe that asking questions when we aren't getting any answers is the crime itself. The crime was when Charlie got shot in the neck, so.
It's such an evil thing to put on someone. She can't be this stupid. She's being malicious. Look at all the intentional lying she's done. She cuts the video short of Tyler Robinson saying the word vehicle. She lies about the flights of the Egyptian planes. She says there's no evidence of Tyler shooting Charlie when he's the only person caught on video with a gun. He blamed Charlie's friends, blamed Charlie's wife, all without showing a single source. Weaponized her friendship with Charlie to go after them. Weaponized her viewers' religion by saying Charlie talked to her in a dream, or God sent her evidence in an email. People want there to be a more exciting answer to Charlie Kirk's murder.
This feels to me like a conspiracy. And am I emotionally invested in this? Yes. Somebody said something to, oh, you're unstable. Yeah, you know what? You're right. I have been destabilized by watching Charlie Kirk catch a bullet in his neck and then being gaslit and told nothing to see here. We've got people all around him that are telling little lies. I don't like this.
Like a secret global cabal killed him. Or maybe it's the boring answer, and Charlie's content pissed off a dude who had a trans girlfriend, and he shot Charlie at a school. School shootings happen all the time. In fact, a school shooting at Evergreen High School happened the same day Charlie was shot. Or maybe the Egyptian planes did that one too. I haven't heard Candace's opinion on that one yet. Her viewership kind of confuses me because they aren't even good conspiracies. She doesn't even have circumstantial level evidence for the things she says. Flat earthers have more evidence than she does. Candace needs to be ritually humiliated for what she's doing, and I will continue to do that in part 2, so subscribe to the channel. And thank you, Aura, for sponsoring this video. Shout out to the homies over on Patreon: Crimson Glass, Riveter, Christina Vina, Drinkobex, Necro Valley, Eddie Bizzle, Christopher H, Lucas If, Snoopy Poop Doo 2, Amura Melbed, Drew is Sharing, Mustard Shirt Guy, and the mega homies: IGP Your Taxi, Cyber Katie, Lore Reloaded, Papa Gut, Tismic Fitz, Caden Lulan, BA Subway, Hawk and Load, Terox, John Manfreda, Lucas, Katie Huck, Adrian Quap, and Manyeas.